Austin Hooper to Cleveland, a little bit of a head scratcher for me, but what do you think about it?
So I get it from a schematic standpoint. I think that Cleveland was more successful running two tight end sets last year. But what happened was Njoku got hurt, and then they couldn't do it. They had to do three personnel, and it sucked, which is why a lot of the reason why it didn't really work out.
Yeah, right.
So I get it from a schematic standpoint. Get Hooper in there. Now you have him and you have Njoku, if that's who you want to continue to reuse at the tight end position. So having two tight end sets. But the thing from a fantasy perspective, I do not like it for Hooper at all because
or Njoku,
really.
Right.
This is really not a good situation for either of them because a lot of the reports were like, oh, Njoku is like the new coaches like him, like whatever. And I thought they would get another chance, but now it's like when they bring in Hooper, it's like, okay, well, do they? I'm not so sure. And the thing with Hooper is he really thrived in Atlanta a lot to volume.
Yes.
Atlanta throws the ball a lot. There was no other really tight end of consequence there. And he had a really good relationship with Matt Ryan. But that also took a while to happen. It took the last 2 seasons. And I remember even hearing podcasts about Austin Hooper being like, Austin Hooper, moved out to live near Matt Ryan. And he's like, yeah, we built on chemistry over these past years. And then, of course, that next season, he breaks out because of the chemistry they built. And we saw last year, Baker Mayfield struggled to build chemistry with Odell Beckham. So I have the same concerns with now Hooper getting a new quarterback in Baker Mayfield, who's already shown that he takes time to adjust to these new receivers. And that even happened in his first year to second year with Jarvis Landry. His first year with Landry was really rough, whereas last year Landry was the best Cleveland Browns receiver, being that it was his second year with Baker Mayfield. So for me, Hooper is going to be an easy fade. I would not have him anywhere near the elite tight end tier, where some people may have him he was basically a tight end 2 last year. From a points per game perspective before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really Hooper.
Meaning he was ranked in the top 5 is what you're saying, as opposed to being a second tight end. I just want to make that clear for the audience. No, I agree, man. To me, this is kind of last year's Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end situation repeating itself. It's you got 2 good guys, but neither one of them can really squeeze through the door and get the volume needed. What I do like out of all of this, because I don't like either one of them from fantasy purposes. Yeah, for Cleveland, great. Great for them and all that. And their offense, they're adding more weapons. More emphasis on the running game, please, and the offensive line. But Stefanski knows what he's doing, so I'm not too worried about that. But found it to be an interesting landing spot, but fine. From a fantasy perspective, we might have even talked about this a couple weeks ago. I can't recall. But whoever ends up to be the tight end in Atlanta is going to be the sleeper of the year if it's not a big name. And I'm assuming it won't be at this point because they will get the volume unless they're a really bad player. It could be an ascending player. It could be a rookie. It could be anything. But, this rookie class isn't exactly bursting at the seams with tight ends either. So, if they draft a tight end and, take a guy like Foster Moreau, if somebody at that talent level, Foster Moreau of the Raiders, somebody at that talent level, if he dropped to him in the mid-rounds and Atlanta snaps him up, could be a top 10 tight end. Just because of the volume this offense puts out there with Dirk Cutter calling plays.